Hello, everyone. It's Michael Jaco with Unleashing Intuition Secrets. It's Pump It Up Friday, so silver is pumping big. Now, hopefully Dr. Kirk makes it on. We had to adjust his schedule. Looks like he's coming in right now. So lots of great things that are happening out there. We're probably going to talk about this one prognosticator that has predicted that silver would pump past its all-time high this month. Dr. Kirk, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Michael. How are you?
Very good, very good. So I watched, you put out every week you put out your own video, and I think that's very informative. You talked about a gentleman that had predicted silver would pump this month, so September, past its all-time high. Wow, today it looks like it's getting ready to do that.
Well, it's amazing. So Jesse Colombo, he has the Bubble report on X. Everybody watching should subscribe to it. He's one of the best analysts that I follow. I think he's amazing, right? So he's done a couple of reports over the last 2 weeks. And then when you couple that with what the Fed did on Wednesday, what China's working on right now, it's like, okay, this builds into a big, amazing picture, right? So number one, he talked about a volatility squeeze, which is, so imagine like a baseball pennant, right? It's like this long flag that comes to a point at the end, right? So if you're looking at a chart, it's either an ascending or descending triangle. It gets to a point. When it gets to that point and the price breaks above that top resistance line, that's the breakout. So we're seeing this pattern, which is caused by volatility in the markets right now. Not always, but right now it is. And that's called a volatility squeeze. Now, this is happening in copper. It's happening in silver. It's happening in gold. It's happening in the Japanese yen, US dollar pairing. And so what we're seeing is there's going to be some massive breakouts that happen. So as you follow his kind of predictions and these trend channels and everything else, he thinks that gold is going to hit $4,400 on this move, not like years down the road, right? On this move, right? So this is amazing. Silver $100 plus. So you and I have talked for years now about how I expected silver, you expected silver to be $100 plus, right? Triple digits. Well, now we're not lone wolves talking about this, right? You've got economists all over the world and big banks and international money center banks coming up with the same numbers, right? So here's where he also came out with another report, Jesse did, about, he said silver should hit $50 in September. And it's September now. It's like, okay. I mean, it's not like a year down the road. It's like right now, this September. So the rationale for that, and if you look at the chart that he's referencing, you and I talked about this 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. I don't know, when we talked about the cup and handle formation.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So this is it. So for everyone who didn't hear that when we talked about it, imagine you're looking at the Big Dipper, right, in the sky. And it's like this big, huge cup, and then it's got this handle that goes out, right? So the cup took 40 years to develop this technical formation. So you go back to the 1970s when silver was really high, Hunt Brothers type time frame. Then it comes down and dips up, and it's been growing to where now we're at the end of this cup, right, at $5 from the all-time high of 48. Now, what comes after that? After it breaks through that resistance, it's the handle. And that's where I look at things, and you're much more of a technical trader than me, right? But I look at these things and it's like, what causes these resistance points, right? When you're kind of going up on the chart and it seems like these patterns, like clockwork, act like resistance, and you can draw this line over time. Why is that? Well, you've got algorithmic traders and high frequency traders that are just using computers, and it's like, okay, you're getting towards the resistance point, we better submit some sell orders, and then it drives the price down, then it bounces back up, hits the resistance, comes back down. When you blow past the old high, not really any technical chart patterns to actually look at anymore, right? The computers are going to like fizzle out and say, I don't know what to do. We don't have these Bollinger Bands and these different patterns and these things because we're at all-time highs. You're in uncharted territory, right? So when you start looking at these, this is where we start to enter that handle, right? Which is really exciting for all of us who've been holding. We've been these holders of silver, and now it's time to watch the price increase. We're getting really close to that level of uncharted territory. This is exciting to me. Now, let's add two more pieces to this puzzle. Number one is, and I got so many complaints on Wednesday, I'm not joking. People calling and complaining that, Kirk, you said when the Fed lowered interest rates, gold and silver were going to go up, and they were going to go up a lot, right? And so what happened on Wednesday? Jerome Powell and the Fed, they lowered rates 1/4 point. And then what else did he say? He said, another big statement. We're going to have another 1/4 point increase this year and another one this year. So that's a total of 3. And we're expecting to have 1 in 2026. So that's 3 more rate reductions in addition to the one they just did. So what happens when interest rates come down to precious metals? They go up. So then why didn't they go up on Wednesday? Right? It's like silver came down 90 cents on Wednesday when they made the announcement. Well, here's where it's kind of just common knowledge. When you lower interest rates, gold and silver go up. So equate that to, I'll just make up a story here. Let's say you're sitting on a couch all day long. Every single day, you eat 3 pizzas and you don't work out. What's going to happen? You'll probably get a little chubby. I mean, it's probably not going to be the best outcome. But there's a cause and effect. You eat too much pizzas and you don't work out, you're gonna get chubby. Interest rates come down, gold and silver goes up. It's just what happens, right? So on Wednesday, here's my analysis of what happened. Powell, what was more important than Powell lowering interest rates 1/4 is what he said was going to come after. 3 more rate reductions, 2 this year and 1 next year. So if gold and silver go up, who has massive amounts of short positions?
Banks.
Chase. Yeah, banks. Bank of America, HSBC. I mean, they have massive amounts. So as the price of silver and gold go up, they lose money hand over fist. Absolutely hand over fist if they have short positions. So what did they do? Started closing these short positions. They needed to unwind them. They needed to get out because of what Powell said was going to come next. So that puts selling pressure on the market. And in the commentary that you reference, it's like, okay, this is going to be pretty short-lived, right? Whether it's a day, whether it's a week, and then gold and silver will take off because gold and silver go up when interest rates come down. So here's where what happened since then. Yes, silver's up again, right? It's going up. It's up over 42 today. We're probably going to hit 43 again by next week. So that correction from Wednesday when they lowered rates didn't last very long, right? It was just the knee-jerk reaction to massive amounts of selling pressure on the markets. Now, there's one more thing that we have to bring in here. This is like the black swan event, right? That nobody's really talking about. Literally, nobody's really talking about. And that's the BRICS nations and why are they amassing like thousands of tons of gold? I mean, literally over the last couple of years, thousands of tons of gold. Well, you and I have referenced this in the past from a different angle, though, and that's the Basel III financial accord, right? So Basel III says what? Gold is going to be a tier 1 asset. So what is a tier 1 asset? It means they put gold on the same kind of level as your balance sheet assets, as your treasuries. It's just a stable asset that they can use as collateral to look at, what they're actually worth at the big banks. People think, well, why? When they made gold a tier 1 asset, gold is going to go through the roof. It's like, not necessarily. They're just counting it on their balance sheets as something that they can count as a stable asset. What matters more is the next level that nobody talks about. And that's an HQLA, a high quality liquid asset. So above a tier 1 classification is the HQLA asset. Now, what is that? That means you can use whatever an HQLA is for international settlement. You can use it as collateral. You can use it as, to collateralize in the repo markets, right? So you actually use it. So what China's moving towards is taking gold in Basel III Accord from the tier 1 to an HQLA, which means they don't have to use US dollars anymore to settle between countries in the BRICS nations. They don't have to use the US treasuries. And this, when you start to put these puzzle pieces together over the years, when 2 years ago, Michael, Putin said at the BRICS meeting, at the opening remarks, we're going to de-dollarize the world. It's our objective. Irreversible. This is what we're going to do. So now you put some meat behind those statements and start to connect some of these dots. It's like, wow, if they don't have to use the US dollar anymore, and that was the built-in demand for our currency, well, then what happens to our currency? It tanks, right? It's already down 10% year to date. And now they can use gold for international settlement. What's going to happen to the demand for gold? It goes up. That means the price is going to go up. So Trump, I believe, saw this coming, right? Because what did he do? A couple months ago, they passed the Genius bill, the stablecoin bill, right? And it's like, okay, we're going to allow US dollars to be tokenized in the blockchain. Well, that opened up an entire world of trillions of dollars of stablecoins, US dollars, that they couldn't do that before. So he said, yeah, we're going to have private companies like PayPal and Tether and Circle and Trump's, First Liberty and so many others. Gemini says we're going to allow you to issue US dollars in the blockchain rather than just coming from the banks in the traditional system. So he built in demand for the US dollar as Asia and the BRICS nations are dumping US treasuries. Trump was a genius in the fact that he said, okay, we're going to actually build in more demand. Because when you think about it, without stable coins on the blockchain, what do people do when they sell their Bitcoin or their Ethereum or their Solana or their XRP? It's not like they're selling it, taking that money, investing it back in their credit union, putting it back. And then when they want to buy crypto again, they have to go through their coin wallet. No, they keep it on the blockchain. Once it gets there, it very rarely comes back in the form of fiat. So what is a stable coin? It's the cryptocurrency version of a money market, right? So Trump, and it sits there until you decide you're going to sell your Bitcoin and buy XRP, or sell your XRP and buy Ethereum. That intermediate step generally sits in a stable coin. This is where Trump just created a ton of demand for the US dollar, right? So as China begins to use gold as settlement amongst the BRICS nations, the demand for gold is going to go up. Now the demand for silver is going to go up more. It actually outperforms gold right now because of where we are with the ratio. So as I look at all of these things that have happened and transpired, even since the last time we spoke, it's like, wow, you've got technical forces and fundamental forces, and Powell's decision to lower interest rates, and the announcement that we're going to have 3 more, and what BRICS is doing, making, going towards gold as a high quality liquid asset. It's like, oh my word, sky is the limit for metals right now. And I've had people call and basically not crying, but very sad, saying, I missed the boat. It's like, no, you haven't. Mm-hmm. You haven't missed any boat. Yes, you've missed from 17 to 42.
Right.
But if I think silver is going to be 100 to 120 next year, and we're at 42, that's tripling from where we are today. Right. And so we've doubled, basically a little more than doubled, up 150 something percent from where we've been to where we are now. But the best is still yet to come. you haven't missed the boat. Get on the boat, though. You don't want to miss it totally down the road. So get on the boat, right? And take advantage of these trends.
Yeah, definitely. And, because everything's basically going to come out of all the other assets that have performed well over the last several years, like housing. So we're already seeing the housing downturn starting to pick up pretty significantly in some places, like here in Vegas, where I'm at, and also in Florida. So those were the tattletales of the housing crash. So that's beginning. I look all around at other markets, and they're starting to turn down as well. Even California, which is usually the last to go, is already starting to turn down pretty significantly as well. So where's that money go? It doesn't disappear. It goes into another asset. So we'll see the stock market continue to go up. It's the last one to fall.
Yeah.
So everybody chases profits wherever they're at. Stock market's always the last to fall. So we're seeing the last big push in the stock market. Who knows how high it will go, but eventually it will fall. It will fall 85 to 90%. All right. So will housing. That's the trend. That's what's happened in the past. If you look at the bottom of the cup to the top, you're looking at $500 silver. Right. So does it happen next week? No. Does it happen this year? No. Does it happen next year? No. It happens probably 1, 2, 3 years down the road. So you look at the things that are happening. These things happen when there's societal changes. You see the unfortunate Charlie Kirk shooting. You see in France and in England massive demonstrations. Those and the European Union and Germany, all of those governments are probably going to collapse. And we may even see, raids on the palaces and 10 Downing Street. And then you might even see that on spikes, right? So that's where we're going. And what do you think is going to happen? Where is the money going to go then? Because it's coming out of every other asset. It's going to go to silver and gold, right? Like we talked about.
Yeah, it's the flight for quality that happens. So here's where for investors that want to minimize risk and maximize return, this is what's exciting to me, because unlike 2008, 2009, that crisis, what's different? I mean, there's something different. Yeah, financial collapse, the banks are undercapitalized. That one was caused by subprime lending. We've got financial problems now, but one thing that we have now that we didn't have back then is people now have lost faith and confidence in their banks and in governments globally, right? So yeah, Trump is probably going to fix things here, not tomorrow, but a year down the road, a year and a half down the road, as his policies can take effect, and there's this policy lag and action lag, and when you see the fruit on the tree. But what Trump can't do is fix the global economy, right? He can't fix the economic problems in China or Japan and the collapse of the yen, or the social dynamics in France and the United Kingdom, right? These are things outside of his control. And gold and silver are not just U.S. assets. They're global assets. So here's where, Trump could fix things amazingly here, and gold and silver still go through the roof, even though, because what's the flight for quality? The rest of the people around the world where their economies are collapsing are going to have to fight for safety, kind of a mechanism. So when people call and say, well, Kirk, Trump is going to fix the economy, I agree. He's not going to fix the global economy, right? And gold and silver are global assets, which means until we have global peace, until the global inflationary death spiral of currencies collapsing is fixed, until there's no more geopolitical conflict, Russia and Ukraine aren't fighting China and Taiwan, or you name it, everywhere, right? Until all that stuff goes away, it's like, all right, gold and silver is still going to be a really good option around the world. And the last time I checked, there's more people around the world than there are in America. So this bull market in gold and silver should have some serious legs, because the global economy is really sick. It's like really sick. So is the American economy after 4 years of Biden, but Trump is working on that. He's fixing it. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So in the meantime, how do we take advantage of and profit from the the economic malaise and all the tensions that we see and the social chaos and what's building up like this boiling cauldron right underneath the surface after the Charlie Kirk assassination. And now you've got turbulence and turmoil and hate and division everywhere, literally everywhere. This is the kind of times where gold and silver thrive, and we should just take advantage of it.
Right. So you mentioned in your last your market report, how much is the dollar down over the last year?
10% so far, and it's only September.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's one of the reasons why it's a little bit more expensive for you to buy that silver, but it is still a great opportunity right now. You're going to see a doubling, maybe even this year in the rest of this year, and then a tripling and quadrupling, and it just keeps going to go. It's going to keep going up as we see more and more tensions, more and more social unrest that's coming around the world, more chasing the quality, flight to quality. You're going to see a lot of money come out of the stock market probably towards the end of the year, maybe into next year. It might even go through into next year before it finally starts to come unwound.
Yeah,
I love your site. I highly recommend everybody go over to your site and just click on silver. When you click on silver, you're going to get this nice chart. And then you can play with the chart. There's the one for the Dow Jones. As you guys can see, that little orange line right there is way below what silver is, up over 40% year to date. All right, over the last year. So you're going to, and like we've talked about, if you jumped in when we jumped up and down to get you guys to buy back when it was 17, you're more than doubled your profit right now. Did you do that in anything else? And unless you're a very, very savvy investor, no. But you look at the S&P, you look at the FTSE, the UK stock market, nothing. Crude oil, way down there.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, and then the U.S. dollar, it's this under 0%, return. So that's where we're at right now. So how do you take advantage of this? You get a free consultation with Dr. Kirk Elliott's, maybe even Dr. Kirk Elliott. I don't know. Do you still sometimes work with people individually?
Very few.
Very few, but it does happen.
Very few, but it does happen occasionally. But yeah, I'm just busy doing research and shows like you, and sadly, I can't talk to everybody anymore. Like I started with 20-something years ago, I was a one-man band. I did everything, right? But yeah, just different time, different place. But I still am able to talk to a few people a week. Very nice,
very nice. So to contact him, obviously kepm.com. And then you have the phone number 720-605-3900. You can fill out the form online and have somebody contact you that way as well. Just let them know what you're interested in. They'll get back with you. So yeah, we're moving into like we've talked about for years now. It's been a little slow in the making, which has been great. It's given us the opportunity to load up on silver, which a lot of us have done. I was just visiting with Scott McKay, and I remember talking to him a couple years ago, and he was asking me about silver, and I said, "You better load up," and he did. So, and he's very happy he did, and then a lot of other people that have followed our advice are very happy they did as well. It's still, you're still going to be happy you loaded up on silver still to this day.
I mean, I just talked to Scott this morning, literally like an hour ago.
Nice.
And he was ecstatic because he's doubled, Michael.
Oh, yeah.
He's doubled from what he started with. It's like, who wouldn't be happy with that?
I talked to him while I was there, and I gave him some new advice. I said, don't sell yet.
Yeah.
Hold on. Keep it for into the next year. So, yeah. And then maybe you'll take a little bit of profit, but you want to hold on as much as you can. Right.
Absolutely.
All right, Dr. Kirk Elliott. We always appreciate your insights. I know you have a busy schedule, so we're going to let you go, but thanks so much for coming in and sharing.
You bet. It's my pleasure.